Hello everybody, Brian here from quantlabs.net. Today I'm going to show you a piece of code that I found on GitHub that will allow you to read emails either from Gmail or Yahoo. So here's the GitHub repository. I'll put it in the source code comment, and I'm just going to walk you through it as best as I can. So this program or script, Python 3 email check.py. So here's the source code. A couple of big things you need to understand is you have either you could use Gmail, Yahoo, or your own server. Now when you're using Yahoo or Gmail, it is a SOB to set up. Namely, if you are going to start sending, let's say, signals or anything from your own domain, in my case, let's say quantlabs.net, let's say support at quantlabs.net, where I'm sending the email from, to an email over at Yahoo, whatever, at yahoo.com, or whatever at gmail.com. So we're using IMAP, but there's a lot of things you need to be aware of. I found Gmail a real bitch to set up. It just the recovery and all that, and automatically disable your account, and it goes into some approval that you gotta tell Google who you are. It's a real mess with Gmail. So for now, I'm just with yahoo.com. It's a mess as well, but I'm gonna do my best to show you how to accept and whitelist the sender email that you're gonna send your info or your emails from on your domain or whatever domain you're using. So in my case, if you sign up to the quantlabs.net service, the analytics, so if you just go over to quantlabs.net, this is really designed for this service. So I'm only showing this for people who may be interested in doing something similar to what I'm doing. So here we have this analytics service. You sign up for it, and I'm going to be giving you a script or two in Python so you can receive emails from this service. So when you subscribe and you want signals, they'll come from an email at quantlabs.net, the domain. It'll probably be at support.domain or signals at quantlabs.net or support at quantlabs.net, something like that. So they'll be the sending email. So if you're trying to do this on your own, you got to filter out where you want the emails to come from. The first big thing you got to do is when you create your Yahoo account, you got to be able to whitelist those emails so they'll end up in the spam, in the inbox. So if we go over to this Joe so-and-so email in Yahoo, I had to whitelist the support at quantlabs.net, let's say, the sending email. So usually they'd end up in the spam right out of the gate, okay? You have to configure and set up a filter that will accept and whitelist those emails from that domain. So I'm going to show you how to do that now. So just come under here on the settings, come under more settings, and then in here you should see filters. So I've created a filter here. So it's a filter name, quantlabs.net, set the rules. So I'm setting the from, if it contains the domain quantlabs.net, accept it, whitelist it, and then choose the folder to the default of inbox. So I could set up a separate folder for just pure signals. Just keep aware of this is how you whitelist to accept an email from another domain somewhere. So that's how you whitelist everything. So you got to do that when you create your Yahoo email. So that's very, very important. As I said, otherwise it'll end up in the spam box and you'll be messed up. So when we run this program, what it's literally doing is we fire it up right here. It's called email. Check. I'm gonna walk you through it, and it's just gonna cycle through and checking the inbox when it gets authenticated, checking for a specific search criteria, and I'll spit out an email, specifically the body. Setting this up was a real SOB, or just finding something that would work was a real bitch with online, no matter where you go using whatever search engine. So I'm going to try to give you a walkthrough, but as I said, this particular script can be found here at the GitHub, as I showed you. It will work with Gmail. I have tested it out, but the security is just, I'll call it paranoia. It's a real bitch to work with. I think Yahoo's a little more relaxed about it. And as I said, just whitelist your sending email. This is how it works. So these are the packages you need. I'm running Python 3. I don't know the latest version I have. Let me just see my latest interpreter. Yeah, some 3.64. So coming back to the source code here. So obviously we've got to define the location of where the Yahoo IMAP server is for the mail. Default port 993, which is standard. You have to set your domain, which mine is some weird one at yahoo.com, the password. And then here's the key, is the criteria. So you got to set your support at quantlabs.net, and that's all I'm setting. So this script will go in and look for anything in the inbox that has the domain as a filter, any email from this email, support at quantlabs.net. Now, if you don't do any of the whitelisting stuff, this won't work. It will not find it. And I'm going to tell you why, because it's going to go into the inbox. So as I said, it's very critical you understand you have to whitelist that sending email for it to default into the inbox that you want, which is the inbox. So again, this is how it works. So let me just go through the main section of the Python script here. So we'll skip these two functions for now. So here we have to set the authentication for the IMAP server with the domain of the host, obviously IMAP yahoo.com, plus the port of 993. Then we authenticate by logging in with the user password, which is obviously our email. Now this is the key here. We have to select inbox. So when we send emails over, we have to make sure that those emails that we send from that particular email does end up in the inbox and not in the spam box. So here we set up the search right here. This is the fun stuff. So here we set up the criteria in here. Now you could set up a number of ways to do it on a various granular levels. I just set it for only if it's from this particular email. And then you can even do it by subject, by body. Don't ask me anything beyond that. I'm just showing you the bare bones basics here. So that's what we're doing here. It's like a protocol when you're dealing with email servers and what is sent back. And then we can search for those emails with this ID, user ID or unique ID, and the criteria which you set up here. So obviously we'll get a result and a data. So it'll parse out everything and do its thing here. If there's any user IDs, set the max, and then it will log out of the server. Now, during that time, here's what it will do. Here we define a infinite loop, and it shouldn't stop at all. We again log into the server, email server. Now, don't critique me for the way this is structured. This code, I didn't write it. I'm just showing you. I'm just using another data source or from a GitHub repository, so it's not my code, but it was the only one that I found that actually works, so I'm just kind of modifying it for my needs. So again, we go through the infinite loop, authenticate with the user password, do the same search with all that criteria fun stuff, and here we get our data and user IDs from that. And then we cycle through the user IDs for each one, and then we can capture a fetch with this protocol, sending it the unique ID that's caught from the server, and then we grab our, I believe this is the body of the message, and then we set our UID max, and then we just get our message. And it returns the text from the from this call here. Get first block. So this is right here. So if it's I guess a main type, again, I'm not an expert in this. And if it's a multi-part, we get a payload. If the payload is of type text, it could be HTML as well, but let's keep it simple. Text, get the payload. And that's it. Now, multi-part, I think, would include things like images. So I believe it should, by default, fall in here. Multi-part would be like part text, and then an image, and then more text, and so on. And then it will return the payload from that first text block. And then it'll display what's returned. And then I'll log out, and I'll print out this message, then sleep for a second, and then continue on the loop. Okay, so what you have here is the crust of a way to download email, and I'll show you in another video how to send email to your inbox. So this is the crust of it, and if you want to learn more on building out these types of services, specifically for signaling for algo trading, I have a course that expands. This is a very minor part of it, but if you come under quantlabs.net under the store, you look for the click here for all Python courses, and then you'll get this course for $250, and I'm sure it's going to go up. Just do a buy now. That will show you all kinds of things on how to build out a complete bot automated trading strategy. Currently, I'm using the same code for both the cryptocurrency and Forex, and part of the plan is to use Kraken for the cryptocurrency because it will help support U.S. Obviously Americans, and I'm doing the same thing with Forex with Awanda, because Awanda is one of the only few brokers out there for Forex that supports Python. So that's the choice. Why the choice of the brokers? So again, this video just kind of highlights how to interpret these emails. It's not an easy process, but I thought I'd break it down as simplest as I can with a code walkthrough as I build out my own script for, call it open source, for customers that want to get the trading signals from the Quant Analytics service with this type of script. And I'll do another video on how to set up an account with that. But this example uses Yahoo email. You could use Gmail, but I've had problems with it. So right now my preference would be using Yahoo. If you want to use the analytics service, you would kind of maybe want to use Yahoo over Gmail. Setting up the account's easy, just whitelisting the sending email. And I'll have an exact email on how to set all that up, but this is just to show you the source code on how to receive emails. from something like this. And as I said, I'll have another video to show you how to send emails to wherever you want it to go. All right, so hopefully I'll help you out, and we shall talk to you later. I'll have the source code somewhere. Just go into the description of this email or this YouTube video and you should be able to find the source code and the link to it. On that, talk to you later.